I thought a lot before I sat on this video taking this mic on. And I need to put this thing out because I don't see anyone else, even on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, from the Indian freelancers. This is not being put out. And this is one ugly side that I guess you need to know. Because this is about our representation as a nation in the global markets. So, whatever I'm saying in this video is not my personal opinion. This is what I have collected from 10 of my clients who are multi-million dollar businesses, who are working with a lot of freelancers who have their in-house teams or whose turnover is in crores. And these people are running successful businesses. And when they are hiring people or when they are onboarding someone to their team, they do a lot of checks. I just want to do my part and tell you guys what is actually happening there. So even if you are making this mistake, you can just work upon it. So this is not about bashing. This is not about making a right or wrong. This is about just me telling that this is happening, you listening, and then you deciding on your own whether it's actually something that needs to be taken care of or not. So this is not a bashing session. So the number one thing that most of the Indian freelancers are coming across as their actions are conveying that they are just here for the money. Whereas a good freelancer, maybe he's Indian or maybe he's from any other market, what a good freelancer does is he actually tries to dig in about the problem. The client call, the way it ends, the client feels like, okay, he was being listened. He was listened up, and the other person is going to come up to him with a particular kind of solution. But with Indian freelancers, the feedback that I have got is that it is more about money than actually the problem. So they will be telling their problem and they will be like, yeah, I can solve it. I can do it. Just send in this much money. That's not how it is done. I'm telling you the right way to do it. It's just that you go over there, you tell them that, okay, this is your problem. I can provide you this particular kind of solution, and you bring money to the forefront. After you tell all these things to them. Second thing is that there is no focus on the skill set. So, and this is what I have personally also noticed, but I had noticed it from a very global perspective because I don't think this is an Indian problem. I think this is the problem of a human brain, that there is no focus on the skill set. What people are doing is that whatever their work is, they are just putting in prompts in chat GPT and just sending it across without using their brain. And this is something which I just can't wrap my head around. So you are being paid in real time. You are being hired for a particular job and you're just outsourcing it to AI. Not just, you can say, like, just outsource it. You are literally doing everything with that AI. You are just not putting in your effort for which you were actually hired in the first place. And this shit needs to be taken care of. And like, from my clients, what I had, that this is major problem from our region, but personally I'd beg to differ. I tend to differ because I do not think that this is an Indian problem. This is a problem that anyone who doesn't wants to work and they think it's as easy, quick, making money making scheme, they will just do it. Third thing is when they actually hire people from India and then it comes to delivering the results, because on call many people, what they do is they make bold claims, they make overstatements, and then when it's time to fulfill them and live up to the expectations and the hype, it just get derailed. And this is a very big issue that if you are also making it, you need to solve it. If you say that I will do something by 5 p.m., then you better make sure it's done by 5 p.m. Otherwise, just don't say it, because your words, your voice has a value. And if you want to degrade it or if you want to inflate it, that's in your hands. So the value of your voice is directly proportional to what kind of efforts you are putting in your work. And if you are not doing your work on time, no one is gonna value your word the next time, because your work actually defines your word. So when you give someone your word, you just need to back it up with your work. Otherwise, there is no point of giving that word in the first place. So you need to make sure that you are not missing on deadlines very frequently. At times, it might happen that there is a very serious situation that you can't actually do it, but you have to. Most of the times, if there are like 100 events, in those 100 events, 80 times you need to be there so that people actually value your word and your work and you as a whole. The next problem that comes in this case is the rigid mindset. And this problem is, it's really big in our country. Like, it is kind of like deep rooted into our systems that we are never wrong. It's not our fault. It's the fault of the other person. It's fault on the other end, because we are never wrong. And like, to some extent, I don't think it's right or wrong. I'll leave that thing to you. But my personal opinion and what my clients are saying is that Indians are too rigid. They are too rigid in accepting feedback, in taking feedback, in working on the feedback. Like, if they are telling the, like, if the client is telling the Indian freelancers that this thing could be done in this way and we think this makes more sense, So what a ideal situation would be that the freelancer puts his end of the opinion, he expresses his side, he shows what he has in mind, he just backs up whatever he wants to say, and he just make the other person understand that what he's actually trying to do and why he thinks this is the best course. But what's happening is that people are just blatantly denying that, okay, you don't know it, I'm the subject matter expert, I'm going to do it, and this is how I'm going to do it. So if you like it or not, that's up to you, but this is how we are going to go. You don't do business on these terms. This nature is not for business. This attitude is not for business. This attitude is for some other places which you need to figure out, because I don't know anywhere you can survive with this kind of attitude. Because some places you have to bow down, not because that you are weak, just because you respect the other person, and that's how basic human decency and basic human etiquettes work. It's not every time about bringing someone onto their knees in front of you. Sometimes it's about mutual respect. The day you understand it, the you will become a successful businessman or an entrepreneur or a freelancer or whatever you're trying to do. And the last thing for this video, because I don't really want to make it longer, as my health is also not in the very optimal state and I tend to focus more on my business, but it had been a few days, so I thought that let's just share this insight. So the last thing is asking for 100% advance. Now this is something which I don't think is a problem, but this is a problem when you can't actually back up your work, when you do not have a solid portfolio, when you do not have any kind of work sample or proof of work that the other person can see. So if that's not there, asking 100% advance doesn't make any sense. And I'm telling it to you as someone who has experienced it firsthand, that you can only ask for advances once you have a little bit of credibility. Initially, it's not about making money. Initially, it's about making and building up your portfolio. And then time on time, you just scale it. So the initial 1,000 rupees that you are going to make are going to be a lot harder than the 20,000 that you will make in the next month. Now, you won't understand these lines right now, but once you start scaling up, once you start earning more, once you get a constant flow of income, then you will realize what I was saying. Yeah, these were the few things that I thought I need to put it out, because no one else is doing it. I hardly have, like, I'm yet to see it. And now that you know it, I want you to do just one thing. Like, if you are doing any of these, just please stop doing it and try to work on yourself, because like, your upskilling, you being a better person, is an ongoing process. So there is nothing wrong in it. But if you think that this is not a very big problem and the people are overreacting, write it down in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion on that, because opposing views are the ones where you actually learn, where the growth happens. If everybody has a similar point of view, might be a case you are missing out a few things, but if you have opposing views and then the exchange happens, then you realize which side you want to be on. So that is pretty much it for this quick video. No fancy CT or something like that. I'm focusing more on my core business, and I'm building something for you guys that is gonna be 3 or 4 hours long, and it's gonna have the kind of the crux of all the information I know that you need to know to scale up to your 1 lakh. So I'll put it out real soon. If you are interested for that, just write down interested in the comment section. I know my consistency has taken a hit, but yep, I'll see you the next time with better health and more frequent videos.